America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Sorry, I'm late. It's just eager to start on time. What shall we do with the consent agenda? Shall we
The enthusiasm.
Shall we approve
What
it?
do we usually do with it?
I think we usually approve it. Let's approve it tonight. All in favor of approving the consent agenda? All right, that's good, thank you. The upcoming Board of Selectmen meeting is next Monday, July 8th at 5:30 here in the West Bath Town Office. Under the Selectmen announcement, I wish to make it known that the new compost garbage to garden bin that we voted on at the town meeting is now in place in the back parking lot at the town hall. So anybody who has interest in compost is welcome to bring it here. If you don't have a backyard compost, or if you have meat scraps, etc., that you'd like to compost, those are possibilities for composting through garbage to garden. Is there any public comment? Hearing none, let's tend to business. Item number 1, Ed check, the Bull Rock Road drainage.
Yeah.
Take it away.
Well, I was just hoping that we could get that fixed and get a new ditch put down through, because it's flooding the property out across the road. It goes into the river. And,
Where are you describing?
pardon me?
What part of the Bull Rock Road are you describing?
There's a culvert going across the Bull Rock Road when you first start going down Bull Ridge Road. Bull Rock Ridge Road,
Down by Arthurito.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And it's going across, then it
Oh,
goes down.
okay, I know what you're
Down
talking
by the town landing.
Yeah, yeah. And it's undermining the road, it goes down through to the cottages down there. But the reason why I'm here, because it's flooding my property out down by the water, and I can't, it's gonna be a hard time, I'm gonna have a hard time to get the leach fields put in, because it's making it all swampy and wet down there.
So your analysis is that it's the culvert that's at issue?
Well, the culvert is coming from one side of the road, and it's, all the water's going on the side of the road that I own at New Meadows Ledges on the waterfront, and it's flooding the waterfront out down there, and the water is causing a big problem.
I guess it's not on the current list of concerns, I think, but we can certainly have Steve take a look at it,
Yeah.
see what needs to be done.
Yeah, okay.
Did that been happening all along, or did it start after all this rain?
Pardon me?
Has this been an ongoing problem, or has it been because of the recent rain?
It's been an ongoing problem. But now I'm selling some lots down on the water, and it's causing a problem for the people that are looking at the lots, because they're afraid of all that water that's coming down through. And it's gonna give me a problem to have leach fields put in.
Well, we'll let the road commissioner ask him to go have a look, see what he thinks.
Could you mention something?
So I think maybe it was like lack of maintenance in the ditch is causing a lot of water to go onto Ed's property down over the hill.
Because we changed that culvert a few years back, I think.
Really.
I think we did, probably 10 years now, I guess, but
And what you're proposing, I think, is to have more water on the, where Arthurina used to live, more water come off on that side? Would that be?
Yeah, that's what's happening.
Yeah, but you want the water to stay on that side of the ditch,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
I haven't seen that upside, but, I think that's what he's getting at.
That's tree right there.
Sounds like-
Oh. Steve. Hey. Good timing, just in the nick of time. Ed was just explaining, that there's too much water going off the road into his land, essentially, and I think that's
yeah,
On Bull Rock Road.
yeah.
on Bull Rock. And we were just deciding that first step would be for you to go take a look. Have you had the chance to do that, or
I have.
You have?
what do you think?
Well, I've went and took measurements, heights and everything, and I got it written down on a piece of paper. But his land, what he's talking about is just off the Foss Point Road down about 50 feet. There's a culvert that goes across that catches all the water from wharfs and Arthurinos through there, and it goes down. And as far as what I can tell, that's been a natural flow. That's where the water's always gone. So Ed approached me about it, and he was thinking of putting a ditch line all the way down on the right side of the road to see if we could convert the water down around the corner. So I went and did some measurements earlier, and we'd have to have a ditch 5 feet deep on that corner. So not only having a ditch that's 5 feet deep, it would have to make sure we have enough land there, because you need a 2-to-1 slope, so that ditch would have to be at least 10 feet off the road. And to do that, it's a lot of blasting, a lot of work, and a lot of money. So if there's other alternative ways, we should try to find them.
What's there now is not a new condition.
No, it's been that way forever.
Yeah, okay.
So is it just the increase of our crazy weather this year that's probably?
I just think yeah, that, and it's kind of like, over the years, the leaves and stuff built up in there, and it's kind of like dammed it up more over on there.
You didn't come over for a cocktail, didn't you?
The biggest problem that I can see is the cost to get that, to water to flow that way. Like I say, it starts at 2.5, you'd have to put a culvert in at Parino's. You'd have to dig out a ditch all the way along for her place, and behind her mailbox, and put it, like I said, you're gonna have at least 15-inch culvert in there, and that's gonna be, her ditch is gonna be 2.5 feet on her lawn.
In your opinion, is this a condition that is caused by the road being there, or is
The water
town
there?
responsible for this?
My personal opinion, I don't think the town's responsible for it. I don't think it's something that's happened.
You do those surveys?
It's been there forever.
Yeah,
I don't know if somebody put a culvert in 30 years ago or not, that might have screwed it up. But I can't see how that water ever could have went the other way and make it. So whether it turned off like that down further, behind the other house or something, that could have happened.
yeah,
I think the water would probably run better if it stayed down that way.
yeah.
And as far as I can see, this looks like people's gonna have problems with their septics too, because the water's so high down there right now, it seems like it's encroaching in on their lawns.
Now, these are newly created lots?
Nope.
They're existing lots.
The existing lots.
Is there anything, are they developed?
Yeah, well, there's houses on
There
it.
are.
There's Pat Reno's house, you go back to her place now where her septic is, there's water right there that's,
Okay,
you know, it's not the perfect ideal thing, it's.
yeah,
I don't know if it's actually bothered her septic or not, but I can see where the water's starting to approach up on her lawn,
yeah, okay.
so. But like there's been a lot of water this year. lot of rain. I guess this is one of the wettest springs since 1904,
So far.
so, that's basically, what I've checked out. It probably could have worked if we didn't have to go so deep with the ditch, we probably could have helped them out that way. Like I said, we was out there for a good hour, just taking a bunch of shots, and that's 5 feet higher than the ditch, not the road, the ditch. So,
Well, you gotta blast it out.
right,
And the other thing that's happening too, there's a subdivision down there, and it's flooding the whole subdivision out,
where's the subdivision?
right across where my docks are, right there. There's a subdivision there. It's been there for a long time, but the water is flooding the subdivision out, and the roads that would be used in the subdivision. I know you don't know about subdivision.
I know about subdivision, but it's what, 100 years old?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but still, it is a subdivision.
Yeah, it is a subdivision, and all this back then, they probably didn't do a wetland situation when they did it. I mean, that's probably something they should have did 100 years ago.
Well,
I
that-
don't have the answers
The
for it.
culvert was put in when Arthur was the town,
Yep,
worked for the town.
yep.
So that's what caused the problem.
So that's what you're saying, the culvert that he put in, approached more water onto you?
Yeah, because it took the water off his side of the road and it flooded the other side out. But now, I'm planning on selling some lots down on the water, and now it's flooding out down through there from all that water coming across. And we're having a hard time finding a place to put the leach fields. So we was down there, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, and it's kind of wet all down through there, so there's only certain places that you really could find a place to put those. So it really should be fixed, and the road's washing out down on the end down there.
Yes, it is, and that's something we have to issue.
Yeah.
Now you're trying to tell us that we should put another 2 million gallons of water down through there.
Well, it'll
Because
be going in the river. If it had a ditch, the water will go right down.
you still wanna run it all the way down alongside the road, Ed.
Huh?
You still wanna run that water all the way down alongside that road.
Yeah.
There's no way to keep it on the far side of the road, Steve? Just no way.
No.
I didn't walk up, I was down in the Ed's land, but we didn't walk up by the ditch.
Well, what I'm saying is, you think there's water now, we're even inviting more water on that corner and gonna be washing out. So
Yeah,
we're
but if
actually gonna make more trouble than we have right now.
I don't think so.
You should walk it with
If
I
you-
did walk it
If you blast it down 5 feet and put a big culvert in there and then bury it back up, the water will go right through that culvert and right down the side of the road.
Yeah.
Is there do you have a soils engineer, what do you call it, report, I guess? That suggests a remedy for it, so the septics could be put in there?
Well, he's the one that's doing.
I didn't look at the ditch stop, we just looked at his actual
Yeah.
land, I didn't go up and look where Steve was looking there.
Yeah.
We didn't go up there and look.
Mhm.
I think that's just a legality issue, right, whether, like, if the town put a culvert across into Ed's land, how does that go long-term, I don't know that answer.
Well, that culvert, I know at least has been in there for 15 to 20 years. This isn't something that just occurred. And I know that's been a wetland over there for at least for 20 years. So it's basically, I really don't wanna put any more water from up there down around that corner. And we're talking a lot of water. You see what's sitting up there.
Yeah, but if we don't put a culvert, all that water's gonna be going on my property.
That's where it's gone for how many years?
Yeah, but nobody was gonna be building down there now. That's valuable property down there. And with all that water there, we might not be able to put any leach fields in.
That's
So-
an existing
It should be
condition,
fixed.
just an existing condition that you as the newest, or most current property owner has inherited from the previous, it sounds to me.
I'm not sure what the town's responsibility would be. You know,
If it's something that the town did deliberately put water on somebody else, that's illegal. They couldn't do
Yeah.
that.
No,
But I believe what he's talking about, that water isn't just coming from there, it's not coming from that whole side hill, filling down in there also.
You
But
know,
we'd only be taking that water that's coming across from there, we'd be taking everything that's coming up from the, north too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'd be draining his whole area out and forcing it down around the bull rock.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me.
Will that create issues?
I'll
for
tell you
the
what,
landowner?
I'll get somebody in here, if it's all right with you guys, and I'll have the job done, and I'll pay for it myself, because it's ruined my property. And it's already ruined three sales already. People seen all that water coming down through, and it's just rushing right down through, spreading all over the land down there.
So
And,
shouldn't you have an engineer come in
That,
and
that
check
would be the best bet, is to get an engineer in there and have
I
that
don't think
figured.
you need an engineer, all somebody needs is common sense,
Huh?
and you know better than that.
Right, and I would have to have, the town would have to have that engineered before we did that. Or somebody with the common sense that's an engineer.
What do you think, Ronnie?
Well, I think it probably, you know, it is a problem. I mean, doesn't matter, they don't have an easement down across your property
Yeah.
to drain it legally, but if there is, if somebody get in there and take a look at it and see what the best choice would be to relieve the problem, it might help. Whether it's an engineer or not, PE, or whoever it is. It is too bad, it is very, very valuable piece of property is destroyed, and that's waterfront property, but maybe the town can come to some solution with you with, I don't know.
Well, if it's something that the town is responsible, or conditions the town is responsible for creating, then the town would certainly be there to remediate and correct whatever problem was created. But if it's not due to any action on the part of the town, if it's only just because the property happens to lie within the political boundaries of West Bath, then there's not a lot that the town
The other problem,
would do.
when all that water is going in, you know, where it's going down around, and there's a leach field, there's a house there with a leach field, that's where I showed you. The leach field is on the lowlands there, and the water it runs in is pushing all that water, the leach field water, down across my property, and it's going right into the river. And that's not a good thing. I wasn't gonna say anything about it, but I figured I might as well get that out, and, because if the DEP sees that, they're gonna be a little upset about that.
I don't think it showed up last year in the shoreline survey, but we can check that.
Yeah.
What's happening over the years, if you remember, if you wanna go back about 40 years, from Wharfs to Arthurinos, there was always a valley through that whole place. Well, between the two guys that filled it all in, so they keep squeegeeing the water over. Now, if he were to go fill his land in like they did, he would force the water somewhere else too. So I would think it'd be more to your interest to get a bunch of fill to put in there and squeegee the water further than try to
Push
reroute
it
it.
across the road and on the other side, that don't make sense.
That's not what I'm saying. Pushing it further down or getting your land high enough so it goes over the ledge to go down over.
Yeah, I think
I think people ought to take a look at it and see.
I think what we need to do is, probably ask Rob Prue to take a look at it and, see see what his recommendation would be, or if he can suggest some solutions.
Yeah, whatever you like, I'd call him up and have him come walk it over with him, so.
Because
Needs.
we certainly don't have enough information tonight to make
No,
any.
I don't even know exactly where the property is, so.
Right, and I'm not entirely convinced that water doesn't change its pattern over years depending on what happens around it. We have water in my backyard that wasn't there 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Because the land behind me has changed, because it's not pasture and woodland anymore, it's just plain wood, so the water runs differently. So I don't think we have
Yeah,
enough
that's a good
information to
idea.
make any decisions at this point,
Yeah.
except to ask Christine if you could call Rob Ruth and ask him.
Also ask him to
And have them come over.
render an opinion
I'll
on,
get that moving.
does the town have any responsibility or liability in this situation? My guess is we don't, but
But we
like I
could
said, I don't
have-
even know where the property is.
But we could have,
We
if we don't
could.
get someone
Yeah.
here that is
Yeah.
gonna take the responsibility on what we do. If we mess up somebody else's land, then we're liable.
Right,
It'd be simple, just dig a trench at the end of that culvert on my side of the road and have it go down, dig the whole side of the road all the way down. All that water, it's going down the road, undermining the road down there. I don't know if you've seen that. But it's,
Yeah, that's a spring, that's not coming from there, 'cause that's solid ledge, we have to blast through it
yeah,
anyways.
but even though if it is a spring, if it's got a trench to run down, the water's gotta run down and it'll run into the river.
I understand what you're saying, Ed, but with the problem that I'm seeing, it's gonna be a 5-foot ditch. Now, we're even gonna put a guardrail up there.
You don't have to put a guardrail, all you gotta do is put a culvert in and bury it back up.
We can
can't-
discuss this
we can't
some
make-
other time.
We can't make this decision tonight
Yeah.
because we don't have enough information to make it. So,
So we have an engineer that we're gonna have come out and look at it. So that'll be our next step.
Okay.
And we'll let you know what his suggestions are.
I think he'll,
I mean, he may come and say what you just said, you know, that's not my call, that would be, if he told us, yeah, this would work, that would work, and the town agrees to it, we'll do it. But, you know, if he comes and says it the opposite way, or it won't work, then that's our recommendation of a,
The USGS has maps going back to the 20s, right, with topographic surveys, Ronnie knows this, so that those could be, Rob Fruit could pull those and
right,
you could see where the water naturally ran
Yep.
before all the roads were put in, and that would be the thing, and Rob will figure that out.
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so we're agreed that we're going to refer this to Rob to see,
Yeah.
to get information and take this up again as we have the information.
you're the road commissioner, you ought
This-
to just go look at it and fix
Business
it.
item number
So the
2.
problem is that it doesn't work that way, because if it
Excuse me?
doesn't come out right, I'm the one that's gonna get it, so I have it.
Excuse me.
We're moving on.
Don't come out right.
Conduct a meeting up here, do you?
We're moving on to business item 2, which is planning board, marine resources, and routine annual report, routine annual appointments. So, let's just run through the list.
And I have the originals here when you're ready.
Okay. Appointments to be made tonight. Jim Williams to the planning board. Jerry Mitchell Jr. to the planning board. Warren Swanson to marine resources. David Moran to marine resources. Douglas Alexander and Jonathan Bean as appointment as constables. Jonathan Bean as appointed as fire chief and emergency management agency director. Jonathan Bean appointed as codes enforcement officer.
I
Ronald
didn't wanna go
Beal
through all this,
appointed.
blast it out and fix it.
Excuse me.
She already said it, we could
Excuse
do
me,
it.
excuse me,
The town manager said you can do it.
excuse me, Mr. Chang,
No,
You're-
I didn't
you're-
say we could do it.
you're being you are being recorded, and this is not appropriate at this time. We're trying to conduct town business. Mr. Ronald Beal as appointed as assessing agent for the town of West Bath. Todd Stead, appointed as animal control officer. Joe Valencourt, appointed as harbor master. Doug Alexander, appointed as assistant harbor master. Christine Poland, appointed as public access officer. Mr. Stephen Reno, appointed as road commissioner. Doug Alexander, appointed as shellfish warden. Julia House as tax collector and treasurer. Carly Perry, town clerk. Could I have a motion for those?
I move that we accept these nominations and appoint said nominations as presented for the positions presented.
One second, that one.
And I have one question.
Yes.
This is the whole list, right? All the appointments?
No, it won't be all of the appointments.
It's just the appointments
It's
that
all
come
of
due
the
at the-
annual appointments, I believe.
Come
The
due
committee
at the
appointments,
fiscal year.
there will be additional
Okay.
ones.
These are routine
Yep.
fiscal year.
Mhm.
Those will be originals.
Is there other discussion?
I just wanted to mention that we received a waiver from the Department of Health and Human Services today for the plumbing inspector.
Oh, excellent.
So he has until December 24th to become certified in that capacity.
Excellent. Until when?
December 24th.
So, all in favor of the aforesaid appointments? Okay, let's sign those papers.
I'll give you a copy.
Penmanship counts, you know.
Hmm?
Penmanship counts.
Oh, no, not anymore.
Yes, teacher.
It's words per minute.
I would say Kathy's gonna beat Kobe and finish first.
We aren't appointing a deputy.
Not yet.
We have these.
You have this.
You can have a little, you'll have to come back.
No, we're going to Carly now, she'll have to deal with it.
Hey Jerry, you take off your other question.
Carly can bring order to chaos. It's what she
That's her
does.
magic power.
It's what she does. Even my penmanship is deteriorating. now.
No, mine is worse than that. It's time goes on.
When you pass the big paper, put that for me, that you're holding. I think Peter's is getting better as it goes on.
Oh, yeah?
You think so?
That's good. Sometimes spell my name. That last one?
Yep.
2019-2020 fee schedule as prepared for us and proposed by Carly Perry. And you have that in your packet.
Is there any changes from the current one?
There are, we changed the comp plan, copy, was that $6, so we brought it up to match the land use ordinance as they are similar in size.
Yeah.
We currently, or previously, did not have a fee for uncertified vital records, which are becoming more popular, and that genealogy is more
Yeah.
popular. So we're matching the state's fee of $10
Per document?
per document.
That's not per page, it's per complete document?
Well, it's usually one page,
It is,
most
okay.
birth and
Okay,
it's not very much.
I know. Yeah,
Everything else on there is standard. We did take off the shellfish license fees, as those are redundant to what the marine resources says.
yeah.
Okay.
Everything else is standard.
Okay. We have a motion.
I'll make a motion that we accept the fees as written.
I'll
Second.
second that motion.
Any further discussion? All in favor of accepting fees? And we have that to sign as well.
You know, the deed office makes right around $1 million a year just selling copies of deeds.
Reporting fees.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all that.
Imagine what our county taxes would be if they didn't.
Another $1 million more.
Next item of business, office hours. Changes being proposed, that office hours be adjusted, that all departments other than assessing would be open from 8 to 5 on Monday and 8 to 4 Tuesday through Friday, and that the assessing office would be available from 9 to 4 on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
The reason for this is because with the new full-time staff member coming on board, I think it makes sense to have our office hours consistent. Ellis and Ron used to stay until 5 o'clock on the days that they worked.
Yes.
I don't think that that's really necessary anymore. So I'm suggesting these hours. Carly and Julie always come in by 8 anyway, and the office is open to conduct business. So I think it makes sense at this time to put that information out there.
Good deed.
And why are you reducing your assessing by an hour each day?
Just because I don't think it's necessary that Ron come in earlier. I think Ron's hours are adequate for, would you agree, Ron?
Yeah.
That they're adequate for the people who come in to see him. So I think we're fine where we are.
Any further discussion? All in favor of the changes proposed? All right. And business item 5, transfers from contingency and other sources. Christine, you wanna give us a lowdown on
Yeah,
that?
we actually only have one item that Julie needs your vote to adjust, and that has to do with abatements. Most of these, she indicated, were just clerical errors and problems with the computer programs not carrying over information correctly. I just wanted to point that out. But we have $27,596.01 that she would like to take from overlay. I just wanted to make sure that that was okay with you. Any other overages were very small, and they can come right out of the selectmen's contingency.
So Julie needs 27,000 to balance her.
Yeah, and in the future, abatements are going to come directly out of overlay anyway.
Yeah, okay. Mhm.
This is the printout from the account, if you'd like to see it. The total of other overages added up to just over $10,000 total.
Okay, wanna see that? I have a motion on that.
To do what?
To take this amount from,
27, okay.
yeah,
I move that we take from surplus, whatever that amount is.
$27,596.01.
In order to balance the account for the end of the fiscal year.
I second that.
All in favor? Okay, that takes care of that. Now we're at other.
I have one item for other. There was an oversight during the budget process. And if you'll remember, we were talking a little bit about whether or not we would go out to contract for cleaning instead of having it done in-house.
That
Yes.
didn't get it.
It didn't get appropriated. So my recommendation would be to just take the amount that we usually pay Carly for cleaning wages, which is $4,000, and just take it directly from contingency at the end of the year. Because we didn't appropriate for either wages or
Contract.
contract.
Do we have has that gone out for bids or anything?
It hasn't, we haven't really talked about it in any detail, so I'm not comfortable at this point going out for contract. I imagine that it's probably going to cost more because we talked about having more work done.
Yeah,
It's outside of what we normally do. I think it can wait a year.
the 4,000 that we currently pay the person who does it currently, is that budgeted or does that come out of contingency as well?
It's normally budgeted as wages, but we omitted it.
We omitted, okay.
I took it off the line item and we didn't talk about it
I
again.
see, we've,
So it's totally on me. It's just an oversight.
oh, like you didn't have $1 million you were juggling. Yeah, okay, I see, so we pretty much, yeah. Yeah, okay, that sounds reasonable.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it
I
does.
don't know if that would be normal practice or if you would be comfortable with that practice, but if you have the selectmen's contingency available, I think it makes the most sense to take it out of an item that's already appropriated.
Yeah,
Yeah, we probably are going to need to have the office cleaned once or twice.
Once or twice. I understand the cleaning lady doesn't do windows.
Ah,
so everything would remain status quo for another year,
Yeah.
okay. And is the person who currently does the cleaning or is she okay with it going on a year?
Yes, I believe so.
In that case, I think you have a good idea.
I'm just concerned, and I'm just gonna put it up there, that with the recent wages, and we continue to do this, how that's gonna be looked at. I'm just saying, the big elephant in the room, I'm putting it out there.
And putting it out there is not,
And putting it out there, it's just, are they gonna see that as another raise?
Well, it was already added to salary
It was,
previously.
but we said that I'm just concerned. You guys do what you want, I'm just putting it on record.
Yeah, it's two very different jobs, it's not part of the normal
It
work
sounds
day.
like it's starting to be like the school department, what we say about the school, and I have concerns about that.
Well, we can complain about the school all we want, there's still nothing we can do about it.
No, so it doesn't mean that we turn around and do the same thing, I'm just,
But we've already been
and so.
doing this
And we
practice.
still question it, so.
Yeah. I just wanna point out that it's outside of the normal work
Yeah.
hours.
And I think it should go out to bid.
We haven't budgeted for it this year.
Well, I think you could get somebody to do it for that amount of money if you asked.
We can
Okay.
certainly do that if you want to.
I'm only one person up here, and
you're as important as the rest of us.
I just have concerns on how it's gonna be perceived.
Your preference would be that it be put up to bid.
I would.
We
I
just,
don't like us start mixing things, and then when we try to hold other people accountable, I just think we're sending mixed message.
we just spent $80,000 for light bulbs we don't even need. You know?
Would there be a problem with putting it up to bid?
No, none at all. Totally your preference. But we would need some very distinct
Right. The-
items that we want them to take
Right.
care of for us.
Right.
Because we haven't really done that in the past.
Right.
So we would need to sit down at another meeting and come up with a reasonable list.
And that would make you feel more comfortable?
It would.
You wanna make a motion to that effect? Yes?
Just as a observation, is there no job description for these, is there no list of duties?
There
for
isn't
this?
currently, it's just been customary that.
And no job description for,
No.
other person? We're looking forward to getting these job descriptions done in
Right.
very short order.
Right.
That would help unmuddy the waters.
We have job descriptions for all of the positions except for cleaning.
That was kind of an ad hoc thing.
So I would like to make a motion that we look to do the cleaning that we, put it up to bid.
Have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. That would mean that we would want to come up with a bid package, and have it available for the first meeting in July? We probably can,
We can do that.
It should be that out of the job description.
No, but what do we do for July before the bids come in?
well, that I think we can take for contingency.
Okay.
If that would be a friendly amendment.
I'd like to amend my original to include taking July's out, July's cleaning money out from the contingency, so it's contingency.
motion to prepare a bid and to account for the cost in, for July for cleaning through the contingency fund?
Yeah.
And that you're in agreement with the amendment?
I am indeed, yeah.
All right, all in favor? Thank you. Any other? Okay. If there's no other, then a request to enter into executive session?
I request a motion, to enter an executive session pursuant to Title I, Maine Statutes Revised Annotated, Section 405-6A, for the purpose of discussing personnel issues.
I second that.
All in favor of entering executive session?
Didn't rain the next week, but